I want to ask you a question. And I want you to answer it actually, not out loud, it's not possible here, but in your heart. When was the last time you told someone what you actually want your life to look like? The absolute unedited and unfiltered version, not the one that is acceptable, that makes you sound philosophical, not the one that makes you sound mature, not the one that makes you sound responsible, but the one that you fear sharing. Because you believe that what others think of you is more important than what you actually want. I want to tell you mine. My name is Ali Muhammad. I'm 18 years old. Now wait for this. In 2047, I will become the Prime Minister of Pakistan. You see, I just caught you. Some people were laughing. Some are confused. What did he just say out loud? And some of you confused and said, is he delusional? You see, your exact reaction is what I want to talk about today. I find it quite interesting. When we are young, we are asked, what do you want to be when you grow old? Asked by family members, by relatives, by friends, and even in school. In my school back in Pakistan, we had this thing where you dress up as what you want to be when you grow up. I don't remember that. But the answers some people give are actress, actor, musician, chef. That is what I once wanted to be. Or you say politician. And as you grow up, let's fast forward that to when you actually have to decide what do you want to become. And if you say those same answers again, chef, actress, athlete, Olympian, or politician, you are told to be realistic, to be practical. Why wasn't I told to be practical all those years ago and instead applauded when I was young and told, yes, way to go, you will become that. But now when it's time to actually select my career path, I'm told, be realistic. To be realistic is not advice, my friends. It's not. It's a story. It's a story that someone tells you. Maybe out of love. Maybe out of fear. Maybe because it was the story that was told to them. About what can you do? What is possible? Which careers are designed for which people? You see, I've had this following conversation with people who I've met, with my relatives, my family. Now it's become a dinner table talk because I'm taking that path. It goes like this. My friend says, so where do you see yourself in the next 10 years? My family says, so what's the next path after college? You see, we have invested in your future. We have migrated to a new country for you to get the best education and the best resources. We want you to get a stable job and a protected career. Now listen to my answer. To my friends and my family and all of them, I say this thing. I say, I know what my family has done for me, and I cannot thank them in words ever. I don't express it. I'm very bad at that. But I say, you see, I'm going to complete my undergrad, race through my master's and PhD, yes. Now listen to this one. Go back to Pakistan. Now this is when things get hard. Appear for the civil service exam, train to become a diplomat, become a diplomat, represent my country, go back, and do what every old man in Pakistan loves doing, becoming a politician. Now you see, even before I've completed the last sentence, there's firecrackers everywhere. And there's one thing that they all collectively say, whether I've known them for 1 year, for 1 day, for 1 month, or my whole life. Be realistic. 2 words, 8 letters. They have ended more dreams than failure ever can. I will tell you something. Don't be realistic. Be unrealistic. Go behind what you want to do. You see, people in that journey will call you crazy. They will call you a dreamer. They will call you irresponsible for your age. But why does that matter? Why does what people say matter to you? Go after that. You may be successful in that. You may not. But do what you want to do. I want to tell you about this man. You see, there's something you must have learned about me. I love sharing stories. So the year is 1992. It's a cricket pitch in Melbourne, Australia. It's the Cricket World Cup final. And for those who do not know what cricket is, it's one of the most watched sports on earth. More than 2 billion people watch it when the Cricket World Cup is taking place. But coming back to that story, it's Pakistan versus England. That man's team has barely made it to the final. They've been depending on, okay, this person has to lose, and they have to win for us to get into the final. The press has written them off. Half of Pakistan, including my late grandfather, had written them off. He was a very big cricket fanatic, and that's where I get it from. That man is 39 years old. And if you know the sport of cricket, you know that being 39 years old in cricket back in the 90s and the early 2000s was either your selector's pet, you've paid money, or they can somehow get you out of the team. That man suffered 5 years of injuries. The critics were behind him. He was on the front page of every newspaper. Now you see, when I say front page of newspaper, you're thinking, oh, what a famous man. But he was on the front page of that newspaper or those news headlines, mostly for the wrong reasons, but sometimes for the right. He walked onto that pitch wearing a t-shirt that became very famous after that, the cornered tiger. 10 of his own teammates who were to walk on that pitch that day had said, we've given up. Let's be realistic. How can we stand in front of those Englishmen? He told them, be unrealistic. Hold that World Cup trophy in your hand. Guess what? Pakistan won the World Cup. But that was not the last time he would be told it's not possible. You see, let's fast forward that to 25 years. In 2017, he came out in the press and said, I am running for the office of Prime Minister. People called him crazy. They said, what is there for a former cricketer, a media person, a spokesperson going to do in politics? They wrote him off. 240 million Pakistanis said, it's not possible. In 2018, he won the election. You may imagine and say, oh man, what a lucky guy he is. He won the World Cup from losing, and he became the Prime Minister. In 2023, he was ousted from power, illegally, unlawfully, and he led a political rally. In that rally, there was an assassination attempt on him. He survived, but he got shot on his leg. What comes next is revolutionary in the history of Pakistan. Still bleeding and still in pain, he recorded a video from that hospital bed. He did not talk about the pain. He did not once mention the bullet. He spoke of the fight. He spoke of his unrealistic dream for motherland, Pakistan. You see, that day he influenced me in such a way that I've changed the course of my career and my life to only going down that path. He, you can say, is my role model. when he was told that it's all over and you can't, he didn't accept it. Instead of giving the pen of his life to someone else, he took it in his own hands, and said, "You will not write my future." Ladies and gentlemen, my purpose to say this out loud is to make you realize that he's not the exception because he's Imran Khan, a spokesperson, a personality, a politician, a cricketer. He's not the exception because he's all that. This story, somewhere deep down, is also yours. You all are living in some kind of walk of life. You come from all ages, from 0 to 5, 5 to 13, 13 to 18, and so on. You have dealt with your own fair share of those kind of people who say it's unrealistic. And somewhere in there, when you were young, maybe a little old as me or younger, there must be this vision, this pull, this dream that felt like it was yours. And there was nothing in between of you and that dream, as it was only a matter of time till you believed that it came to you. No one could stop you. Later on, as you grow old, people said, "Be realistic." And the last time you told someone what you actually wanted your life to look like, they said, "Be realistic." My question to you is, what is your story? I've asked you 2 questions. What is your story? And the first one is how I started. Ladies and gentlemen, it feels like after that moment, it's a cold winter night and you have turned off the heater. You don't feel anything at first, but slowly and gradually, it starts building upon you and you start shivering. Similarly, when someone said, "Be realistic," you started making that dream of yours smaller and smaller and smaller, more conformed to society, more conformed in the eyes of people who you love, of people who you interact, because you don't want to go through the pain of this Pakistani sentence or Urdu sentence, "Log kya kahenge?" What will people say? And you've made that dream so small that you're living in it. My question to you is this your story? Is this your story that you're living in? I want you to revisit that younger version of yourself. The one that thought anything was possible, anything unrealistic was possible because it was only a matter of time till you actually saw it racing towards you. There was nothing that was between you and that. It was only you, your conviction, and your unrealistic dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about 2 kinds of realism that I hope you take away from here. The first kind is it safe? Is it safe? The second kind of realism that is taught in theory is it true? Now think about this. Is it safe? Is it true? What is true about who you are? What is true about what you are capable of becoming? And what is true about what this world needs? I've asked you 3 questions here. I want you to think about that. Listen deeply into that voice and once again revisit. Will that younger self of yours settle for what society has made them settle? Will they conform for what society wants them to conform? Or will they still be unrealistic at any point in their life, no matter how old they are, and say, "I will go behind that because that's what I want, and I don't care what others say, because I'm the one who's living that dream"? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with two things: a question that I will reiterate and the challenge. I hear that people love challenges, so I'll leave you with a challenge and a question. The question once again is, what is your story? Think again, what is your story? And the challenge is, tonight, not when you feel safe, not when you feel more heard, not when it feels like the water temperature is perfect and I can jump in now, but tonight, tell someone that real version of yourself. Revisit that first question. When was the last time you told someone what you actually wanted your life to look like? Make that day today. Because I know something, and I've taken inspiration from it. Imran Khan is in jail in all these days, in over 1,000 days, where he could have said, I've had enough. I tried my best. I've done all that I could for Pakistan, and instead stayed with his children in the UK. He did not. Not because he was certain he would win, because he was certain of who he was. My last question to you is, are you certain of who you are? Ladies and gentlemen, I know I cannot realistically draw the map from Sugar Land, Texas to the Parliament building in Islamabad, and I know it's going to be a tough journey, and I'll face failures and fears, and I'll actually feel like a joke at some point because where I'm standing and where I want to go will feel unrealistic to others and sometimes to me. But we all know something. The room we're sitting in, the clothes we're wearing, the idea that a Pakistani-born child can stand on a stage and deliver talk freely did not exist 100 years ago. 100 years ago, someone sometime heard, be realistic. And he said, no, this story is not mine. Ladies and gentlemen, don't settle for being mediocre. Go behind your unrealistic dreams. Be honest, be truthful. My name is Ali Muhammad. I'm 18 years old. I've told you my story. And in 2047, Wazir-e-Azam Pakistan. Thank you.